I resent that.
He would pick your legs up like a push lawnmower and just push you across that beach. He'd be like,
he's like,
somebody
wow,
change the blade.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. He's like cranking me.
He would.
Wow.
And then he'd say, I think she's flooded.
I've been watching god-awful garbage TV for 3 hours, and
now we're going to talk about it. Welcome to the show,
It feels
everybody.
like 7 a.m. and I'm tipsy, and this is the only way I could stomach it.
Hello.
If you see my eyes spinning around in my sockets, that's the reason. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TVT Time. I'm Mattie.
And I'm Poodle, a.k.a. Jake.
This is, for some of you might be new if you watch
And that's a dog.
And this is my dog, Sophie. Say hi, Sophie. All right, she's going to
She
go lay
has
down.
dementia.
She does. And you know what?
And if she pisses on my floor, I will beat you with an inch of your life.
I wish I could not remember the last 2 hours of what I just watched. Boy.
You know what? That is a good point.
Can we talk? Okay, so if you're new to the show,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we are two queens who love to talk about
TV, good TV and bad TV.
Yes.
But
and this is
bad TV.
It's bad TV. And
but hopefully by the end of it, can you turn me up where I can hear myself?
Well, you
somehow.
were clipping a little bit, so I was trying to help
I can't hear myself now.
You can.
There we are.
You're fine.
Now I
Okay.
can hear myself.
Just try not to scream so much in the microphone,
and you
so
can try
people's
not to
ears
hurt
don't
me.
bleed.
You can try not to hurt me.
Sorry, everybody. This is the way the show goes. We're feisty because we just watched Fire Island on Logo.
We watched MTV's Logos. It's all the same
It's all
fucking
the
garbage
same.
pit.
I'm glad that we just got through recapping Feud, possibly one of the best shows on television ever. And
then we have to do this, which it literally feels like when Liza Minnelli was on tour and then was in musicals, and then she had to do Arthur 2 on the Rocks.
Oh.
Remember that?
Yes.
When you get caught between the moon and New York City?
I know it's crazy.
When you're caught between the moon and New York City, you're fucked.
You know what? Yeah.
That's the last lyric.
The best that you can do is get a yeast infection from this show.
The best that you can do is get sterilized.
Is that Christopher Cross?
Yes, it is. That's very, very, very good of you.
I like Christopher Cross. He relaxes me.
My friend plays Christopher Cross for her baby. All right, we're going to talk about Fire Island.
Your friend has to be white. Only white people do that.
It's true. So we need to talk about. So on the show Fire Island, first of all, these 6 enlightened characters are very excited about a summer share on Fire Island.
They are very excited.
Our number one person who knows everyone, our touchstone, is Kassan. Who is a choreographer, and all I need to tell you is that he's a choreographer who goes ba ba ba. Instead of 1 2 3, like he does hits like ba. You go ba ba ba.
I don't know what that. I didn't.
I don't know, but I saw it, and I was like, I know choreographers like that, and it makes me sad.
I didn't mind because
he's a black guy, and you love black guys.
Pretty much.
Stick
it in.
There we are.
He's pretty hot.
We're not going to get a neutral opinion on Kassan from this one.
Sometimes
we one.
Sometimes we just go with our emotions and let them speak.
More like go with our asshole.
I'm turning you down. You're clipping. I don't want it to clip so much.
I just need to hear myself.
Well, I know.
I'm tipsy, so who knows?
Yeah, so let me
And
just
also,
feel.
there's a fucking siren going on.
There is a siren.
And because it's windy in L.A., we have to open the windows.
It is. Now, Kassan is in a situationship, as he calls it, with Jason.
Oh,
Boy,
God,
if there's one
that's
thing we're
not
going to
a real word.
If there's one thing that this show is going to perpetualize.
Is Jason not the gayest name? It's one of them.
No, I think that name is Cheyenne.
Brandon. You know what? Brandon and Cheyenne are both gay names.
And then Austin. There's
there's an Austin.
I think there's someone named Xander. I don't know.
All there needs to be is a Zach.
Zach. Yeah,
I know so many gay Zach.
Yeah.
Z-A-K.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. The one thing already is that we're getting that gay men, it's a real struggle to be in a monogamous relationship, apparently.
Here...
Thanks for perpetuating that stereotype, Logo. Jesus.
It's so hard because I don't know. I have so much waiting for me at home, but I want to have fun.
Yeah. It's like, I come to, so they arrive at Fire Island. Well, we're going to talk, but.
I'm going to have to say a lot about that later. But but Kassan is a choreographer, and he wants to spend some time. He's in LA based, and Jason is New York based. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
It's a bi-coastal relationship.
But there's nothing bi about it.
Yeah. And he's bringing his friend to Fire Island.
Who is Jorge, who is basically a male Sofia Vergara, who's like, oh my God, I don't know.
Jay.
Well,
I love Sofia Vergara.
Kassan, I need to spend all my time with you, Kassan. No, don't leave me, Kassan. No, ay, Dios mío.
Okay, that just got a little racist.
I guarantee you he said ay, Dios mío.
You know what? He is a male Sofia Vergara. That is on point.
He's a me Sofia Vergara.
He's got big tits like her, too.
He's hot, though. He is hot.
Oh, yeah, his hair.
But he's that kind of like white Venezuelan who's definitely ancestors are European and probably were Nazis.
Oh, I bet his dick's like...
Because, the thing about Venezuelans, Argentinians, and Chileans is a lot of them have European roots because the Nazis and the Germans fled there.
Okay, we don't need to talk about Nazis on the show.
I'm just talking about history. That's why they're white. That's why he looks white.
There you go. As you see on this show, if you're new, we get deep.
By deep, we mean we get racist.
And speaking of deep, let's talk about Cheyenne.
That's a great segue. First of all, as you put it, Cheyenne's not a real name.
It's not a real name.
It's a porn name.
It is a porn name.
It's a porn name.
Cheyenne is actually an Instagram star. He has he's always fucking half naked on Instagram, which we'll get to
I'm going to throw myself out a window.
You know what I realized? There's some things that already annoy me about Cheyenne. One,
I think he's really cute, and I hate myself for it.
He's pretty. His voice, it sounds like...
Yeah, man, he kind of talks like this.
Yeah, it always sounds the way Phyllis Diller would moan whenever her vagina was being pleasured.
I was never there when that happened.
I just say that's what it sounds like. But I realized and we're going to find
he kind of talks like this. It's like... really raspy.
I know, guys. I don't know.
It's awful.
I'm pretty
on
the outside, but I sometimes don't feel pretty. He's also he's basically a Kardashian. That's the way he sounds. That's the way he acts.
But he has really pretty eyebrows, so I'm going to let him by with a lot.
I'm not saying he's not pretty. I'm just saying.
I'll have a lot to say about him later, though.
You know what? Cheyenne has a lot to say about Cheyenne.
He does. I have a feeling he's going to be the most hated cast member.
So
then we
have...
And
Cheyenne's besties with Brandon.
Are they besties?
Well, they get along.
Okay, and Brandon's the one who I go like, who? He's in the show?
He's a little forgettable. He is kind of like Jan Brady.
The most
he is Jan Brady.
The thing we're told over and over again is like, I'm 21.
I'm 21.
And like, no one appreciates me.
No, I'm like,
you know what? Shut the fuck up.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
It's so hard to be 21.
I love the older men, but I tell them I'm 21.
You know what? I fucked a lot of older guys when I was 21. Sorry. It just got quiet when I said that.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks.
And some of them taught me in school.
Okay. I did learn a lot of sexual things from older men.
But like when you're 21, you don't have awareness that you're 21. You're just living.
Yeah.
And like he's a little too self-aware. I guarantee you that's producer shit that they told him to say. I kind of hate it.
I remember once 50
I kind of hate it
how to shoot gummy bears.
I find him exhausting, and although I find him cute, and he'd be good for a dick suck. Sorry, I'm tipsy, and there's no filter anymore.
We get deep here. I know, because we've watched 2 hours of this shit. All right. Yeah. So now we're going to speaking of...
There's Justin.
Justin,
who's my favorite, who is like...
Speaking of a dick suck, I do that too.
Who is terrified of not fitting in with his body type, who is hairy like a bear, but is a fit kind of muscular bear.
He's like, in his character, he's kind of like a not Disney princess in that he thinks he's a princess, but more like the newer ones, like Mulan, who doesn't fit in. Who is that girl? This is the time to sing. Standing there. Front at me.
Why don't we never know words?
Why
don't we never know words? Why don't we ever know words? Sorry, I'm tipsy.
All right, cut it off.
That's the first time you've ever cut me off.
It's too long.
You know what? Everyone, that was a first.
It was a first, but I like Justin. I think he gets his feelings hurt a little bit.
Cute.
He is cute. He's a good illustrator. We'll talk about that later. I like his art. I don't know his art. Sure.
Who else?
And last, we're left.
Is that
with,
the last one? No. Is there someone we're missing?
We're left.
Jorge, Kasan,
and then Patrick. Patrick's next.
I mean meth. I
actually,
what's his name?
I say that. I actually say that, but I like Patrick a lot. Patrick is Southern.
He's like a gay Matthew McConaughey. He's like, all right, let's fuck each other.
That is who he is. Gay. We are calling him gay Matthew McConaughey. He's the Matthew McConaughey.
Well done.
Patrick McConaughey. But that said, he would be our friend. Well, I don't do drugs.
He would. And
he's too skinny and he parties a lot, so I'm assuming
I have a feeling he does drugs.
But he would be our friend.
I have a lot to say about this later.
So, all right.
That's our cast.
That's our cast, and they're
all... Are we missing someone? I keep feeling we're missing someone.
We talked about Kasan, Jorge, Brandon, Cheyenne, Justin, and Patrick. We talked about everyone.
Like we're missing someone because they're boring.
Because...
Honestly.
They're boring.
So
let's talk about the first episode.
We're going to get to our tea bags.
We're doing both episodes, by the way, tonight.
And this is exhausting.
Because Logo aired them on the same goddamn night, which means they're trying to just get through this show.
It's 10:45, and it feels like 5:30 a.m.,
which is when they go to bed from partying. So speaking of...
from the tea dances, as they say.
They talk about New York. We see them all in New York and have their friends and they're not friends and their fears and their doubts and
blah, blah,
and
blah.
our fucks going out the window.
And some of them, here's the thing. Kasan is dating Jason and they don't know what to do.
Jason. You're right.
It could be Justin. Who fucking cares?
Who cares?
It's the same thing. Justin and Jason are both gay names.
He reminds me of
You'll never hear a gay Fred.
I knew a gay Fred.
Did you?
Yeah, he was in his 50s. I did.
All right, we're going to move on.
He was quite odd.
We're going to move on.
But, he reminds me, who was the boring guy from the first season of Finding Prince Charming?
Which one?
No, the straight-laced one, the one that Sam is friends with in real life.
Eric? The one with the hippies?
No, not Eric. That's the one who won.
One with quotes around it.
Yeah, he got out of that.
Yeah, you fucking won, all right.
Yeah.
There's Tanique. There's...
Who is it? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. The tall white guy, blonde hair.
Paul.
Yes.
Stick up his ass, Paul.
Yeah, but anyway, just reminded me of him. Boy, that was kind of a waste of a minute.
Yeah,
Sorry,
really, no shit.
Sorry, everybody.
I'm going to go ahead and go to my tea bag.
Okay.
Because I'm tipsy and I can still know when we need to fill time.
That's true. Okay. That's how this show works, everybody. Jake and I, you're at some recaps. They go through the entire show, moment by moment.
Not us. We're just going to choose.
Not us.
We don't a certain amount of tea bags.
We don't have enough time.
Usually it's 10.
Usually 10.
But this is 2 episodes.
We might give you some more.
We probably have around 14.
You know why? Because everybody likes a nice tea bag. Who doesn't?
A good, warm, supple tea bag at the end of the day.
Just... Hope you shaved. Don't burp in the microphone. That's gross. Nobody wants to hear that. I'm going to beep that out.
I had Mediterranean food earlier. I wish you could beep things. That would make us think that we're saying fuck. So I just got to say one thing. So Kasan is his boyfriend, and Justin has a boyfriend, and they're going to Fire Island. And my thing is, as we've always heard, a great gay saying is, don't bring sand to the beach.
Oh, God, already you're starting with your
Don't bring sand. This is a poodle proclamation.
I knew you were going to do this.
Don't bring sand to the beach. In other words, if you're looking for something, don't bring sand. The beach already has enough sand. Stop doing it.
Sand gets up your crack and itches.
Sand gets up your crack. Stop bringing sand to the beach. Just don't go to fucking Fire Island.
I know about
and
that.
Stay away from the... I'm sure you do. And stay away from the dances. So that's all I have to say. But we're going to talk about how everyone violates that principle later on.
Pretty much. Now, just so you know, as we get this, we're talking about the first episode right now. The drinking word of this show is family. Because if you have to hear... Because
everyone has a family dinner, which is, I don't think it's true, even though neither of us have been to Fire Island.
If you have
been to Fire Island
is
and
it a tradition? Because let me explain a little bit.
Having a family dinner?
They get there the first night, and Justin's going to cook and have a family dinner. But also, let me just say on top of that.
I think your tradition is having a booty bump and like getting fucked by 8 guys. That's a family tradition.
Yeah. By the beach.
I think a booty bump is when you have crystal meth shut up your butt.
It's actually when you put it in an enema. I learned that when I was a counselor.
That's what someone told me.
For a crystal meth recovery group.
I
told you that.
I have never had that done, by the way. Not that I judge anyone who has had that done.
Oh, I don't judge people who did meth. I wish I was skinny. You know what? If you did a booty bump, you literally would those like a sit and spin that just goes, woo, and then you would just what are those fireworks that go, woo, woo, woo.
I would literally be doing human jumping jacks. I would never hit the ground. Just hopping on dick after dick after dick.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
And then one would be like... like in Mary Poppins when Fred's doing that. He's like... Anyway, when he's rowing that boat... I love Dick Van Dyke.
Okay,
what a Cockney accent.
What's your next one? Because I'm horrified.
So I'm just what I wanted somebody to verify is: do you go to Fire Island and have a family dinner?
I don't think people do.
We don't think so. Anyway,
you go for dick.
So then they have dinner.
Or to do antiquing.
Yeah, then they have dinner, and then, but then they're going to go to dinner, but half of them go out first,
and they're like, "It's my first night on Fire Island,"
and they're literally like, "Oh my God." There's so many gay people.
There's so many hot guys here. Wait, I have a boyfriend. Oh, fuck it. Who cares?
They all live in Hell's Kitchen and Chelsea.
Yeah.
They're like sissies living in dick trees. They're just swinging everywhere. But yet they act like Fire Island all of a sudden.
You hit a branch and dicks fall down.
Yeah, you just it's oh, there's some semen. It's Friday. That you live in New York City.
You just knock something and dicks are on the ground and you go and you collect the dicks.
Yes.
I agree.
Anyway, and
there's dick trees everywhere.
At least in New York, you have Central Park to do stuff in the bushes.
The Ramble.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's Fire Island. Never mind.
So anyway, but Justin gets pissed because Cheyenne and Brandon end up staying out partying too much, and they're late to dinner.
They're late. They
get there at 10:30.
They're not just late. Dinner was at 9.
Dinner was at 9.
And they show up at 10:30.
But
and it was like, they're eating without us. I'm like, yeah, it's 90 minutes later.
But you know what? Also, I could tell that part was scripted by the producers. I thought somebody
was that sound?
I thought
that's your
knocking on my door.
Scratching her fucking skin.
It was, but I could tell that part was scripted by the producers because I know all these gays have watched Oprah. Oprah says not to eat dinner after 7:30. They would never have dinner that late ever. That literally is just turning to fat. Cheyenne's not going to do that.
I don't know. Justin doesn't give a shit. So.
I know.
And they're all bulimic anyway.
And that brings me, I'm going to keep going because that's a good segue.
Oh, great. Lovely.
No, my next teabags, the next morning, they're talking about how Justin's talking about how he's at Fire Island. He worries about being the fat one.
Yeah, we only hear that 11 times.
Okay, Justin looks fine.
He looks cute.
If he's
cute
fat,
bear.
What would I be at Fire Island?
Captain Ahab's white whale. Harpoon! Boo! Off the starboard bow.
That's not
I see her. She's my white whale.
I'd be like, no!
Boo! I'm going to get her. Moby's my dick.
It's true. That's pretty good.
Look at big Mr. Moby.
That's pretty good.
I know. Sometimes I can do accents. You, on the other hand.
So Justin opens up to Cheyenne and Brandon about his body issues, in which Cheyenne immediately says, "You know
We're
what?
all the same.
I work really hard. I diet really
hard.
I
like that.
I exercise really hard.
We all work really hard.
We all work really hard. And I'm like, am I enough? I'm like,
and I desperately, and this is the self-help part of me that want to say, ladies, you're all enough, because there's someone out there. Here's the thing about the gay community: there is someone out there who will fuck you.
There is. You will always get a dick
There
in
is
you.
someone
I don't care
out there
how
who will fuck
you look.
you.
I don't care if you have a Nazgul coming out your ass, eating people's soul. Someone will put a penis in it.
You know what? It's very true. You will always find someone that you can get yours with.
And the therapist wants me to be uplifting, but the bitch in me wants to tell Cheyenne, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Because you have a lot more abs than I do. I admit it. I'm jealous.
And he's cute, and I have a big crush on him.
All right, what's your next one?
I want to talk about...
Tea bags.
We've talked about... Brandon a lot. And there's two Brandons, which is confusing.
Well, there's Brandon who's on the show.
Brandon's on the show who I keep forgetting.
And then later we're going to find out about Patrick's boyfriend,
Brandon, who has a kind of boyfriend.
Yeah.
And which brings me to my second teabag. So Justin is meets Patrick's boyfriend, Brandon, who looks drugged up. Honestly,
Brandon looks like a coke whore.
Yeah,
and you could tell he's high
skinny, fucking gross coke whore.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, he does. And
they both have man buns, and it's weird.
But you know how when you talk to somebody, talk to me like you're having a conversation.
I never listen to you, so it's difficult.
I'm like this.
Yeah,
not even looking, just fixing my hair, looking.
Yeah,
that's what.
Can you listen to me?
Yeah,
he does do that. You're correct.
That is what his boyfriend does.
That's kind of what I do to you.
It is all the time. It is all the time. But
my pad can't fit between my microphone.
But yes, they meet yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about Justin, the quote unquote bear, who's really not a bear, meets them both and says in the most easiest intentions, says, "You both look really cute together. It looks like you really care about each other." Honestly, they've had sex once.
Probably what happened is Brandon sniffed coke off Patrick's dick, and then he said, "I feel connected to you."
They did some meth, and they fucked each other, and till 6 a.m.
I still really like Patrick.
And they think that they're. Funny. I'll have more to say about that later.
I think he's who he is. But
that's not true.
That's basically who they. And then, but they.
It's sad how provincial Justin is.
I can see that. I can see that. They literally, when Justin said,
I just said provincial. That is the most judgmental word ever.
Just going to let you get there, Mary.
Sorry.
But yes, when Justin said that you look cute together, I thought that was sweet. I thought he was just noticing they were a cute couple.
No, I was like, he's going to fucking run for the hills. That just tells you the difference between your type of gay and my type of gay.
I'm just saying, I like
if
to
someone
speak honestly.
Said, "Oh, it's his boyfriend," I was like, I need to leave right now.
I thought they, you know what? But I think that Justin ended up doing him a favor. Because Brandon shows her true colors later on in that episode.
When you're with a guy, you're immediately like, you meet him and you're like churning butter for him the next date.
Love me.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. They have to tie me down. They have to get me pregnant before I'll go with them.
Well, they usually have to put you in a sling first and then blindfold you. And then I think you get tied down. Mm-hmm.
Well done.
They got to put those gloves on, too.
Pop, pop.
Choo, choo.
And you hear the lube squeak go.
Wow.
I don't know what that was.
We've done a lot of shows, everybody. And this is the first time Jake's ever said it. And then you hear the lube squeak.
I'm tipsy, so what's your next one?
My
tongue hurts.
Great. So
why?
Basically, they have a conversation about this. I mean, you didn't miss much, everybody. They go to a costume party, which means there's a lot of body glitter. Underwear.
That is the byline for the whole show. That in TV Guide it says, "Fire Island." You didn't miss much, y'all.
You didn't miss much, y'all. But the way the episode ends is so basically they get really pissed because they feel like Patrick. We're starting to see a theme where they have a little they have a barbecue, and what's his name? Frodo? Jorge.
Jorge. Sophia says, I do not want people coming to house.
Sofia Vergara feels like all these strangers. There's a stranger in
you know
my
what?
house.
Here's the thing. I will talk
You're
about
Fire Island.
I will talk about Jorge's version of the United States of Fire Island. It is that I no want people who come to house who I don't know.
You know what? That sounds kind of Asian.
And they showing their penis and they're showing their dick. I mean, and I don't want that.
It's kind of like Patrick says, so that's Fire Island.
But this is what my Fire Island experience is about. That's what I got from him. That's a very good impression.
This feels awkward now.
It should have been accompanied. Can we do this in post by playing the national anthem behind it?
Maybe.
Okay. Thanks.
Maybe.
Anyway,
but yes,
and then they do a shot of Justin eating corn on the cob, which is my favorite.
Yeah,
he's just like gog, 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 gog.
But and so anyway, they ended up.
He's the cook, by the way, because he's the fat one.
Jorge ends up getting really upset about this, and then
Jorge gets upset a lot. And then but he's still my favorite character.
No, I like
honestly.
him. He's got pretty hair, and then they end up talking.
I'd fuck him any day.
He'd fuck you.
I resent that.
He would pick your legs up like a push lawnmower and just push you across that beach. He'd be like, somebody change the blade.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. He's like cranking me.
He would.
Wow.
And then he'd say, I think she's flooded.
You're full of them tonight.
I am. So anyway.
This is an X-rated episode for everyone.
I got to tell my mother not to watch this one.
Please don't let your mother watch this
Mom.
one.
So anyway.
Your mother needs to stay out of your life.
My mama's she's a Southern mama. She's in it. I love her. And so anyway, so then they end up. So we kind of course, as producers are like, well, they're going to have a conversation about
you've all
strangers
chosen this.
In the house.
You've all chosen
this. And so then they decided to have like the 10 Commandments of the house, and they make a rule that like everybody has to agree upon.
No one must come in here who we don't know.
Exactly. That's what Sophia Vergara
I want
says.
no penises in house.
And then we cut to Patrick. Is like, I'm not going to do that. I'm breaking rule number 1.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, McConaughey.
Says,
he's like, I'm breaking rule number 1. And then they're kind of talking about it.
Corn mustache.
And they're not resolving anything at all.
No.
Jorge's just like, are we going to do this or not? We need to agree upon this. And
we agree, disagree.
And Patrick's like, well, all I know is I had a good time. And everybody goes, cheers. And then they smile.
Cheers.
And the episode ends as if literally a drink just makes everything good again.
It was sad.
And now we're on to the second episode.
I want to talk about, before we leave it, that Brandon, not the house Brandon, God, fucking gay name Brandon.
Yeah.
The Patrick's boyfriend.
Coke Brandon.
Coke Brandon.
Let's just call him Coke Brandon. Let's call it what it is.
Who is basically
call it
saying,
gay spade
who's
gay
like,
spade.
yeah, I'm going to go, this guy's paying me to go down to Texas, and I need to see him. And then Patrick comes up.
I bet.
Patrick probably is. Patrick comes up and he's like, so you're going away? He's like, yeah, I don't know. I have family shit to do.
Yeah,
and I was like,
my brother.
Can you imagine being that person who would be okay with portraying yourself on television like that? That's like a drugged up shit.
Bless her heart, she's out of it.
She is, and I don't think she's cute.
I don't think so either. I think that she's going to look back on this when she's a sober counselor in like 20 years and go like, boy.
I made a lot of bad decisions. And it was worth it because I'm who I am now. I am so much stronger than yesterday. And that's a Britney lyric. That's so weird that you went for a classic music theater reference and I went for Britney. Because that's the opposite of what we normally do.
It's true. All right, can we talk? That was only 28 minutes.
The next thing is...
we're talking about the second episode
Yes,
now?
we are.
Let's talk about... So the first episode... So by the way, they go They come. Logo can't afford people to stay at a house for a week.
It's 9 a.m. the next day.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
So really they have to go back home during the week and work at their jobs because Logo's like, we can't pay
Summer
for this
share.
Bitches. So like you get
Summer
back here
share.
on the so they come out every weekend. That's how Fire Island works.
Guys, I don't know how I can do this next weekend. Oh, yes. You got 5 days to talk in the city because you all live there.
It's like Cheers, but only on the weekend, Norm.
It's like Cheers, but real queer.
But it's like Queers.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your dick. And they're always glad you literally came.
Oh, that one works.
That one works.
You want to be where you can be.
The people are all hung. Yes, you want to go where everybody fucks your whole ass. Fuck.
You know what? I kind of want to end
that
this
should be the theme song.
I'm going to end this episode and then come back and we're just going to have a little break and we'll see you for episode 2. Bye.
Sugars, sometimes when you have a good ending, you have a good ending. You got to roll with it. All right, be sure to tune into episode 2. We appreciate you watching so much. Please leave a review if you're listening to the podcast. If you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, we love it. Your likes, your comments. We're going to read your comments next week for next week's show because we want to know how you felt. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. And now you can watch episode 2 because we already have that one filmed too. All right, bye, y'all.